It's still snowing, and guess what? Blast of cold air on the way could bring more. So tired of this. Forecast coming up.
A massive landslide, look at your television screen, has a Washington State Island community packing up and fleeing for safety. The slide is still growing this morning. We're going to update you on the situation on Whidbey Island and also explain how landslides work.
And this wild wreck caught on tape, one of the most incredible videos you will see. And will you hear what happens after you see that pole? The story doesn't end. It just gets better right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
You're watching Wake Up with Al, live from New York, with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is March 28th, 2013. Welcome to Wake Up with Al. Stephanie Abrams returns after some much-needed time off. It is good to see you.
It's good to be back. I legitimately missed all of our viewers. I missed you guys, so I'm really happy to be back.
Well, I wish we had some better weather to welcome you back.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I didn't bring the warmth back with me, sorry.
That's for sure. All right, we got our top 3 stories, and the bad news is there's still snow in the forecast. Come on. Lake-enhanced snow now causing problems around the eastern Great Lakes, mixed in with some rain as well. Pittsburgh, you're going to see that icy mix. Same in Syracuse. Boston, you'll have some morning showers, maybe a flake or two at the worst of it. We've also got cold air to deal with. Pittsburgh, you're going to be seeing temperatures that are still below normal. 42 for a high today, 52 in Roanoke. Lexington looking at a temperature of 50 degrees as well. And by Saturday, we've got some showers and storms making their way into the Central Plains. Des Moines, you could see some thunderstorms. Same with Nashville. Dallas, partly cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms hanging around.
All right, so let's run through that forecast then and show you exactly what you're going to anticipate. And for a lot of you, it just stays rather cold for you, unfortunately. And for many of you, you just can't kind of break out into that spring pattern just yet. But for the Northeast, lake-enhanced snow showers continue for us as we head through the day. At Cleveland, we've seen a little bit of light snow outside of town, over through the lake-favored areas here, Ashtabula, up toward Erie, up toward Dunkirk, and on your way toward Buffalo. At times, this may mix with just a little bit of rain, as temperatures this time of year with a higher sun angle really have a hard time staying below freezing. Take a look at the conditions here. Seneca Falls, down toward Ithaca, over toward Utica. We all have light rain this morning. And then take a look at Punxsutawney, down toward Pittsburgh. A little bit of light snow for you here this morning. Just flurries, not a real big deal by any means. All right, here's a look at our forecast today. Albany, 47 degrees. Boston will be 46. Some sunshine breaking out later in the day. In New York City, will be about 49 degrees for your daytime high. Tomorrow, 52, a high in Boston, will be 50 degrees in Portland, liking that number, and then a 53 for you in New York with the sunshine coming back. Yeah, Cleveland, let's run through your forecast then. 43 degrees today and tomorrow, 49 on Saturday. If there's any snow, and not a lot of you have snow up here in Northeast Ohio, it's all going to melt. Sunday and Monday, rain, then rain over to a little bit of rain-snow mix. Easter Sunday right into Monday. Spring chill across the southeast. You've been feeling it of late, that's for sure. But it's 45 right down in Atlanta, 49 in Charleston. The cool air has even infiltrated Florida, where your temperatures have been cool the last several mornings. It's 53 right now in Tampa. Where do our numbers head as we go through the day today? Many of us will end up enjoying warmer air as the jet stream is pulled off to the north and southerly flow comes our way.
So, Tom, what's the deal for the South? Are they done with this cold stuff?
Well, for the most part, they're going to get a little trip in the action here as we go into Tuesday. But once that settles out, I think conditions are going to improve. And I'm going to give you an idea. Now, down here in Atlanta, it has been very cold. We take a look. Atlanta's trying to warm up right now. And we've been looking at this over the past couple of weeks here. Take a look at this statistic. This one just amazes me. We worked this up the other day. Here is the average temperature that Atlanta had for the month of January, 49.9 degrees. This is the average so far. This is combining all the days in March and comparing it to January. We're actually colder in March in much of the southeast than we had been back in January. That's all going to change pretty soon. I'll give you an idea of how that's going to work here. This is the cold air pattern across the U.S. right now. And right now our jet stream is pretty much locked just about like that in the atmosphere all the way down into the southeastern U.S. But as we get into the weekend here, you see how we kind of loosen the grip here across this part of the nation here. Temperatures begin to rebound a little bit. bit. The flow flattens out a little bit across the southeast here. Well, you're in good shape. We'll talk about the northeast in a bit as well. That's where the cold air is going to reinforce itself. But down across the southeast, that lets up for a little bit into the weekend, and then part of this cold air just nips this area down into the southeast here on the Monday into Tuesday time frame before it really begins to let up here, Alan, Steph. And in Atlanta, we see how the temperatures rebound from a high of 42 yesterday all the way up into the 70s Monday. But here's that little where we get tripped up a bit into that Tuesday time frame, drops back down into the 50s. I think we're just about done with it now, but we've got one more bout of pretty cold weather to deal with. We'll send it to you.
Tom, thank you so much.
Time now to do a little traveling. We're going to check in with Maria LaRosa. And Maria, pretty easy travel today.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, you have a few issues here and there that is not really going to snarl any traffic. That's always great before a holiday weekend. Can't stress that enough. And the major airports all looking good today weather-wise, from Washington to Atlanta to Chicago. Lots of sunshine on the board, and that is definitely some good news. Let's take you to Miami. Also some sunshine on the board. Just want to say temperatures are going to be below average. Average in Miami, 81 degrees. We're not going to get there today into the lower 70s. We also have a low humidity into the 40s, the dew point temperature. So it's actually going to feel really nice out there. But yes, it's after a cool start. So just be aware of that. But as far as travel goes, you're not looking at any issues. Let's take you along the 5 from Los Angeles in great shape up into Sacramento. Along the entire way, we're fine into Redding as well. As you get towards Seattle, we're still looking at a chance for a few showers today. But thankfully, they are going to be in for a little bit of a dry stretch after today. So looking currently, not much out there right now. Sun and clouds for the most part. Any sprinkles will be on the lighter side, and thankfully that is some good news because we've had those issues with the landslide. We saw that incredible video. But travel along I-90 and the 5 should be just fine for the afternoon and certainly for the start of the day. Let's take you now to Dallas, where we're going to keep an eye on this area as we get in through the weekend, but today not too bad with temperatures climbing into the 70s. And that's your travel update.
I was just told that Allstate Insurance said we're not covered for this.
How does that sit with you?
Makes me want to throw up, to be honest.
Oh my God, it's even worse. I don't even have insurance. I was going to get it because we've been so broke. And since it was paid for, I just can't even believe this.
Oh my gosh.
Heartbreaking stories from Washington State this morning. A landslide creeping closer and closer to homes on Whidbey Island.
Coming up at 6:20, we're going to show you exactly what's happening on the island and the science behind landslides like these. And hearing those people talk breaks my heart.
It really does. And of course, we're going to have the day's headlines coming up with MSNBC's Dara Brown.
Plus, if you're able to break out your best Easter bonnet and dress, you're going to need to bundle up. We have your holiday forecast after your local on these. Maybe you should just wear a bunny suit to keep warm.
You know, I was thinking about that.